Leslie Diane Marty was born on January 15, 1963. At just 20 years old, she was living in Parkersburg, West Virginia, raising her child. Her life came to a sudden and tragic end, leaving everyone who knew her heartbroken. Leslie was a caring mom to her 4-year-old son Joseph, and she had a passion for sewing and enjoyed spending time on the water. Back in the early 1980s, she worked for Mark Francis Hanna at an electronics store he owned. What started out as a work relationship eventually became personal, but things started falling apart over time. On July 30th, 1983, Leslie was taken at gunpoint by Hanna and never seen alive again. This led to Hanna's arrest and eventual conviction in 1985 on charges of burglary, kidnapping, and abduction with intent to defile. However, in 1989, the charge of abduction with intent to defile was overturned. Despite this, the convictions for burglary and kidnapping stayed in place. Leslie's whereabouts remained unknown, and in 1991, she was officially declared dead. When Hanna became eligible for parole in 1996, he faced new charges tied to Leslie's murder. Despite no trace of her body at the time, he was convicted in 1998. For years, he refused to say where she was buried. He would drop vague hints now and then, suggesting she might be in Ohio, but he never gave clear answers as to where she was. Finally, in 2018, during an interview arranged by his attorney, Hanna opened up. He shared photos and even pointed to a spot on a map showing where Leslie's remains were hidden. According to him, she was buried in a quiet roadside park in Belpre, Ohio. On November the 7th, 2018, after a careful search guided by Hanna's directions, authorities found Leslie's remains.
The body of the victim has never been found until recently, bringing closure to the victim's family. In the early weeks of September of 2018, Parkersburg Police Department were notified by officials from the Department of Military Affairs and Public Safety, the Cabinet Secretary Jeff Sandy. Convicted murderer Mark Hanna wanted to provide information that would lead police to the burial site of Miss Marty. On Tuesday, September 25th, that investigators were able to watch an interview with Mr. Hanna, his attorney, and a news reporter in Charleston, West Virginia. During this interview, Hanna did provide a specific location in Washington County where he stated that he had buried the victim. At that time, in that interview, the investigators were not permitted to speak to Mr. Hanna. On October 22nd of 2018, members of the Parkersburg Police Department and Washington County Sheriff's Department traveled to Mount Olive Correctional Center to interview Hanna, along with his attorney, to obtain additional information about the specific site. Hanna provided additional information that allowed the investigation to continue. A combined effort from law enforcement was established to complete the task of locating Miss Marty. Agents from the Cincinnati Field Office and the Evidence Recovery Team of the FBI were called to assist the PD and the Sheriff's Department with this case.
The discovery was made at the Old Shell Chemical Employee Park near Ohio Route 618 in Belpre. Dental records later confirmed her identity. Heartbreakingly, she was still wearing the bathing suit, and other personal effects were found that she had with her the day she disappeared. 2 bullets were recovered with her remains, confirming both the cause and the manner of death. After 35 years, Leslie's family was finally able to give her a proper burial. She was laid to rest beside her brother, who had tragically passed away earlier that year on April the 21st. And that's our case for today. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe out there.